Return to Skyhold. The judge captured enemies. Or forget to do that for the entire game, and then do them all at the end. And be like, who the hell's that guy?
Hey, I got a guy, and I did a good job at him. Not my problem. Take him away. They'll kill me. I would have killed you too, so. Hey, girl. What's up? Oh, ooh.
Inquisitor,
Ooh.
I must speak with you.
Ooh.
What is it?
Unbuttoned shirt.
I must explain
unbuttoned
something
pants.
first about the Montiliers' fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montiliers have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
Jesus Christ.
So is the U.S. government. They're doing
Dead
just
or no,
fine.
You appear to be surviving.
That isn't enough. A disaster could wipe us out completely. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It's just... It is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Is there anything I can do?
I'd almost solved our problems. For a while. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montiliers as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux, I've just learned my carriers were murdered.
Murdered.
And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Do you have any idea who murdered them?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at
I'm guessing
parties
that's count.
to meet with an important visitor. Allies
Probably.
and
I
rivals
guess. I don't
will
know. I'm
take
not
note.
French.
Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
If that's what it takes to get to the bottom of this, I'll meet this Comte with you.
Thank you, Inquisitor. It means
Now let me on the dress.
you are too kind. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
He's like, Ma, I did. Blah. Yeah,
Wow.
that was a lot.
Yeah.
Ah,
Garden.
herbs can be sold for money. Money can buy herbs.
I mean, yeah, but what do you? You can also generate to some extent money and herbs from the table by sending people on missions. I feel like while playing this, I might have gone Chantry just for money. I don't know. There's definitely a decent reason to have more money just by the that DLC area with all the stuff you want to buy.
Yeah. Plus, for all I know, is the herbs are limited to like the most basic stuff that I'll have plenty of
Yeah.
anyways.
Also, a lot of the resources can be bought for money in that little DLC spot. So, 2 for 1.
I want to keep relations up with Solus, Liliana, and Josephina. For dialogue
It seems
options.
Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is... Some of the generals are sympathetic. Our actions are under a great deal of...
Solus, do you have any words of wisdom?
Inquisitor. I'm
I think
interested.
I've already gone through those dialogues. Should I go? Oh. Guess not. What just happened?
I don't know.
What did I just do?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh.
You clicked a dialogue option that looked unique, and then you spacebarred through it. So I have no idea what you did.
Oh well. It looked like a generic dialogue option to me. Sorry.
It had one of the special symbols. I've never really seen that one repeat.
I think I have. I'm not too sure. Obviously, not this case. I asked him to tell me about himself. He's like, let me tell you in the form of flashback. Next thing I know, it's the end of the game. I'm just triggered.
Yeah.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
This place looks relatively fine now, doesn't it? Sure, it's a little beat up, but not any more beat up than the Skyhoff or whatever.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
I'm glad someone was watching over me.
You were a mystery.
Yeah, as he sits over Red Lyrium right in front.
You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
Cassandra's like that with everyone.
Yes. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade.
Yeah, we've seen it happen a few
I was
times.
frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then...
What was that?
It seems you hold the key to our
A
salvation.
flashback.
You had sealed it with a
That's
gesture.
weird.
And right then, I felt the whole world change.
For all our sakes, I'm pleased that you stuck around.
As am I. You have fractured rules of man and nature, and you will shatter more before you are done. To visit me here, and you not even a mage.
What do you mean?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Get out of my head, not here. Please don't tell me to put me up in the tower. Please don't tell me you put me up in the tower. Please don't.
I'll put you in a loading screen. In the tower.
Put me in the fucking tower. I fucking know it. You bastard.
That was really quick. I remember in Origins when you stopped skipping, it was when you started going through dialogue, and then someone would reference just some crazy shit, and you'd be like, I don't remember that. I'm like, yeah, because you skipped through it. I have this game memorized in and out. I know exactly when you skipped through it. It was at this one dialogue, that time with that person, before this happened, this many sessions ago. You're like, oh. And then you stop skipping through it. I was wondering when we get to a point in this game with all of your skipping to the point where you would actually just straight up miss something. And boy, was it quick. Except this time I can never tell you what you skipped because I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur. a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang a soldier's hymn to keep formation. The primal music shook the ground. These
I don't know what I've been
unwashed
told.
bodies
That's going
carried
pussy is
harmonies
mighty
not Shanty
cold.
choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits
Yep.
weep.
Perfect for information.
We'll talk later.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Alright. Maybe I should talk to Cassandra too.
Northwest. Not on this layer, though.
Okay. Guys, I want to make sure everyone related toward the Chantry and the organization is on my side for when I instill Liliana. Okay, did I skip something this time? Oh shit.
You knew where Hawk was all along.
Damn right I did.
Conniving little shit.
You kidnapped me. You interrogated me. What did you expect?
I expected you to tell the truth. I told you what was at stake.
So I just hand him over on your say-so? It's okay, Hawk. This zealot isn't crazy. I promise. Look at her. She's finally lost it.
All right. You've both made your point.
We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. First, Liliana and I searched for the hero of Ferelden, but he had vanished. Then we looked for Hawk, but he was gone too. We thought it all connected, but no. It was just you. You kept him from us.
The Inquisition has a leader.
Hawk would have been at the Conclave if anyone could have saved Most
Hawk would have
Holy.
been dead.
Hawk 100% would have died. There's no way Hawk could have stopped this.
You can't change the past, Cassandra.
So I must accept what? That the Maker wanted all this to happen? That he... Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the Conclave, when we needed Hawk most, Varric kept him secret.
He's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
Attacking him now won't help us, Cassandra.
Ha! Exactly.
And you better not be keeping anything else from us.
Ah, I understand.
He did bring Hawk. Late, perhaps, but Hawk is with us. As are you.
You know what I think? If Hawk had been at the temple, he'd be dead too. You people have done enough to him.
I believed him. He spun his story for me, and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand. But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain why we needed Hawk. I'm such a fool.
What if you hadn't believed him, and you tracked Hawk down?
Honestly, Hawk might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor.
He 100% would not
Supported
have.
the Mage
Yeah.
Rebellion, after all. He wouldn't have trusted me for a second. But this isn't about Hawk, or even Varric. Not truly. I should have been more careful. I should have been smarter. I don't deserve to be here.
You're too hard on yourself, Cassandra.
Not hard enough, I think.
I'm gonna be hard on
I
you.
can't believe that.
I want you to know, I have no regrets.
My face is tired.
Maybe if we'd found Hawk or the hero of Ferelden, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. I don't know what's to come, but you're more than I could have hoped for.
What?
Jesus Christ.
You have not spoken to her at all.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Something I can help you with?
Yes, possibly. You recall the demon at Therenfall? The one impersonating Lord Seeker Lucius? We never found the real Lord Seeker, or his body. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. Yet a demon of envy does not kill whomever it replaces. It hides them away and learns about them. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance...
There's XP.
If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor...
You mean
I
trade
would
for
appreciate
XP?
Mm-hmm.
That's what a quest is.
An operation? Stop making me travel back to you every single goddamn time.
You have multiple now. Operations that are the only thing in your way before getting to an actual quest. Like how you had that shape rate gem.
Yeah.
You still have to assign someone to the operation for that.
Mm-hmm.
Good book?
It's
I
porn.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, because I suddenly went blind.
Oh, that. Just reports from Commander Cullen.
You're an excellent liar.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
The latest chapter? Meaning you've read them all?
Not since this all began. We've been busy.
She's read this one 3 times.
You! I told you to stop spying!
You read it out loud to me. I don't like the captain either.
I never did that. It's literature. Smutty literature.
Yeah, the kind of girls like.
Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
I'm fucking telling him. Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that.
Read that book.
You? No.
Why not me?
You keep doing that.
You're the Inquisitor.
You never did this in any other games. You're just in such a rush to press buttons. You're skipping through things, completely missing entire cutscenes and quests, accidentally flirting left and right.
I know Varric
You know,
is working on the next. He
Sounds a
must...
lot like me, doesn't it?
You could ask him to finish it. Command him to... Pretend you don't know this about me.
She's got a nice butt, though. Got a minute.
I understand if resources cannot be still. It could involve a threat we are unaware of. There may be a use in looking.
I'd like to get to know you better.
There's not much to know.
If you don't want to talk, I'll...
No, I just... Oh, very well. My name is Cassandra Pentagast, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne.
Damn.
I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition.
So she was the right hand,
And
Leliana
here
was
we
the left
are.
hand?
That's all there is to know, my lord.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentagasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentagasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentagasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your brother.
Anthony was older than I, a dragon hunter, who showed what a Pentagast could truly be. I idolized him. I wanted to hunt dragons as he did, even though our uncle forbade it. Anthony promised to train me in secret. We would hunt together one day, brother and sister, vanquishing the beasts of old. And then he died on me.
That sounds really awful.
It was the end of everything I knew. A group of apostates wanted dragon blood, and wanted Anthony to get it for them. He refused, and they killed him for it. In front of me. I begged the Chantry to let me become a Templar. Instead, they sent me to the Seekers. It took many years to let go of my drive for vengeance.
I think I understand how you felt.
At times I could not breathe. The rage nearly choked me. I sometimes wonder how different my life would be if Anthony was still alive. Would I be a dragon hunter? Married to some noble fool, a mother of 3? I cannot say. I take solace in believing the Maker has a plan, but he is not always kind.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of
That's
his
a hard fucking
corpses
word.
to the living.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi.
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it. But the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset.
That's ouchie.
That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
You saved a life.
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral. But I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the Conclave.
Ooh.
I think you're a hero, no matter how you downplay it.
Fine. But it was 20 years ago. I will not rest upon my laurels.
I'll let you get...
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
That's weird. Why is the
Not
NPC
sure.
talking to me?
Where are you from?
I was born in Ostwick, and that's where most of my family is.
I'm not used to this, Rez. This is so fucking weird.
A large
is so
clan
weird.
With a rather clever
Me
coat
answering
of
an
arms.
NPC's questions.
Tell me, do you consider the Free March as your home? Are you eager to go back?
Rez, help! I hate it.
I might, once this is done.
It will not be the same once you do.
So that book you were reading.
Yes, what of it?
So under that taciturn shell beats a true romantic heart.
Why must it be an accusation? Romance is not the sole province of dithering ladies in frilly dresses. It is passion. It is being swept away by the pursuit of an ideal. What is not to like about that?
Ha, I won't fall for it this time.
The flirt option is always in the same exact location every time.
As is that weird, like, lawful Inquisition,
Yeah.
like,
It's just a little unexpected.
I
and
don't
as
need anyone picturing
sometimes
me mooning
continue
over
the
stolen
dialogue
horses.
we're doing
Is
instead
that
of
what you're
ending it
doing?
abruptly.
Mooning.
I will never hear the end of this, will I? Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
Can you tell me...
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, They are the blind ones.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified.
But not the other way around.
If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
You're right. Something should have been done.
When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
Was it some kind of magic?
I don't fully understand it, to be honest. If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it.
Sounds a lot like
What
the
if
circle's
mages never needed to
what's
fear
the word
possession by
called?
demons? I'm told it is
When you're
impossible, however.
going through your test as a
I
mage,
suppose I'll never know the
harrowing.
truth of it now.